Hi, I'm Professor Sellers, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit about the accounting department and the accounting profession. I'm a Kent State alum, and after I graduated, I spent 30 years working in public accounting for consulting, technology consulting organizations, and in the healthcare industry before returning to Kent State to be a professor. What I'd like to do briefly is talk to you about what it is accountants do, the kind of jobs accountants get, and a little bit about our program here at Kent State University and why I think it's a great place to start your career. So, what do accountants do? Accountants fundamentally do three things: measurement, analysis, and communications. We look at economic activity, we categorize it and group it and measure it. Think of sales or purchases or payroll transactions. All of these business events need to be categorized and measured. Much of the measurement work is actually done by computers today rather than by individuals. And then the interesting part begins, which is the analysis. And what we do is we try and apply professional judgment. Sometimes things are black and white, but oftentimes there's shades of gray. And that's where all the training and professional judgment comes in. And we analyze the information to summarize it in a way to make it useful for making business decisions. And then the final step comes in communication. And so we have to explain that information, sometimes very technical information, in a way that people can understand it and make good decisions for their organization. So that's it: measurement, analysis, and communication, accounting in a nutshell. Who do accountants work for? Well, we work in schools, we work in nonprofits, we work for government, for business and industry, and also in public accounting firms. These can be large global firms um, or regional firms in Northeast Ohio, or even local firms in individual communities. What kind of skills do accountants need? Well, surprisingly, for many of our people who are first learning about it, written and verbal communication is very, very important. Remember that third element I talked about, communication. Much of the work we do involves analyzing data and using computers in that process, so analytical skills and computer skills are good. We do a lot of our work in teams. Maybe it's a team that's doing an audit in a public accounting firm or helping to compile tax return for a complex global company. We're busy. Accountants are very busy, and we have to manage deadlines. Think about April 15th when all individual tax returns are due. So time management is really important. Leadership, again, a lot of the work we do is in teams, and as your career progresses, you become more involved in leading those teams. And then detail oriented. We're working with uh, a large amount of information, sometimes thousands or millions of bits of information, and trying to make sense of all of that. And that requires an interest in a mastery of details. Employment trends. Well, the trends are very strong for accountants and for our graduates. Many of our students will have paid internships while they're going to college. And oftentimes they'll take an internship spring of their junior year, and if that goes well, they'll have a job offer by the end of the internship for the following year or maybe 2 years down the road. And there's especially high demand for people that have an accounting degree and perhaps a minor in something like finance or data analytics or computer information systems. Many times when people talk about becoming an accountant, they'll think about the term CPA, that's Certified Public Accountant, and these are the people who work for the public accounting firms and audit the books of companies or of nonprofits or government organizations. CPA is a license that you receive from the state. It's similar to doctors or lawyers, and it requires passing a four-part exam and achieving a certain level of work experience. It requires 150 credit hours by way of reference. When you complete your bachelor's degree, typically you'd have around 120 credit hours. So many of our students will go on and get the master's. If they're interested in becoming a CPA, will get add 2 more semesters and do the master's in accounting. Um, and and again, it's an excellent credential, and probably maybe half or more of our graduates will go on to get their CPA exam shortly after they're finishing their bachelor's. Accounting is a well-paying profession. The entry-level positions in public accounting pay a little bit more typically than in industry or government, but there's a strong demand and good salaries at the entry level. And then when you look at management and partner level in public accounting, or management and executive level in corporate industry or corporations, the earnings are quite substantial. And so what about the program here at Kent? Well, our goal at Kent is to help you learn the fundamentals of accounting and to develop the necessary professional skills so that you can successfully launch your career. Right? And an important part of that is helping you develop that professional judgment, those skills, and also for most of our students, helping them get some kind of hands-on experience. Usually that's in the form of an internship or a co-op. And to help you do that, we have an event in the fall called Meet the Accountants Night, and in the spring a meet and greet kind of thing. And these are career fairs. In the fall, we'll have probably 40 or more employers, everything from small regional public accounting firms to large global firms to government organizations like Comptroller of the Currency or the FBI. And they all come into the ballroom, at least when we don't have a pandemic, we all come into the ballroom. Students show up dressed in their finest, with resumes in hand, and network among all these recruiters and these firms to line up internships and full-time jobs. But it's not all studying and work. We also have a lot of fun as a department and as a group of students. And so we have an organization called the Accounting Association and Beta Alpha Psi. It's open to all of the accounting majors. And it's just a really fun organization. There's opportunities for networking and meeting alumni, which is very useful. But it's also kind of just a way to make friends and have fun. These are a couple examples. We have an intramural team there that we're especially proud of. They did really well, and I think the photo at the top is if I remember rightly, an outing to one of the local ski hills that they did. So again, we're really excited that you spend a little bit of time to learn about accounting and to learn about Kent State. I think it's a wonderful place to start your career, and we would be happy to share more information with you. Take care.